Hey, what's up, everybody? We're on the 8th episode of Everything and Anything. I'm your co host, Russell.
And Alexa.
And today we actually have a special guest. The guest is named Brandon.
Brandon, what are you?
Brandon, it's okay. You can talk.
Go ahead.
Who, me?
Yeah.
My name is Bryan. What are you talking about?
Bryan!
Brian. Oh, Brian. Sorry about that. Brian. So we do have a special guest today, Brian. And he is my special brother, the youngest out of the four. And do you want to say anything about yourself a little bit?
Okay, my name is Bryan. Yeah. And I'm currently 18 years old.
Ooh, 18. That's an old number, right?
That's a typical age.
Yeah, exactly.
The age that begins as an adult, right?
Do you feel like you're an adult?
No, not really.
No.
I still feel the same.
You still feel the
Yes.
same? Yeah. I know what you mean. You don't really feel adult until you're like 25 or
My
something.
brother is also 18, so shout out for my brother.
Oh, shout out.
Brandon.
Yeah. Yeah, Brandon, yeah.
His name is
So we have a few topics we're going to cover. The first topic is going to be Crazy Rich Asians, because we all got to see the movie, and we kind of want to do some thoughts about the movie. And then we're going to be talking about some thoughts about college, because Brian is entering college, right?
Yes.
Wow.
So, wow,
That's
good.
exciting.
That's really exciting. Are you excited?
Kind of.
Yeah.
A little
nervous?
Yeah.
A little nervous as well?
I
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, we all get a little bit nervous once in a while. So we're going to talk a little bit about that, if he has any questions for us. And then we're going to be playing Would You Rather as well, because we wanted to get more people involved. And I know some people really liked it.
Yep, that's true.
Yep, exactly. So,
Alrighty, so
let's jump into it. So what are kind of your, I guess we'll start with you, Brian. What are kind of your just overall thoughts about the movie? And you want to give a little brief description since you're really good at it?
So a quick, brief description about the Crazy Rich Asians is basically about.
So
A couple.
if you haven't watched the movie, you shouldn't listen to this, but if you already
Oh yeah,
watched
spoiler alert!
exactly,
To this
yes.
movie. Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Yes.
So basically about a couple where the female in the relationship, right? She doesn't know that her boyfriend is extremely
wealthy,
wealthy.
Extremely rich.
back in his hometown, right?
Singapore.
Yeah.
Yes, Singapore. And basically she's trying to get his family's approval
Yeah.
because knowing their tradition in China, they want everybody in the family to be wealthy. They want everyone to be like smart and like everyone like has to be well known in the culture.
Yeah.
But with the female, the main character, Rachel Chu,
Yeah.
she's a professor at a
I think it was NYU. Yeah.
Yeah.
NYU
School,
New York University
Yeah.
as a what was her
Studies mathematics.
economics?
Something like that.
Economics.
Yeah, I think it was
Something
economics. Yeah,
Economics,
right,
yes. And so basically, she goes to China for her boyfriend's brother's wedding,
Yeah.
and
Well, but
basically-
is she in the movie Chinese or something? I think she's from China too. No?
she's from China,
I think
but
so, yeah.
but she was born and raised, or not? Yeah, she was born and raised in America.
Yeah.
This
in
person
America,
is from Singapore.
Yes.
Right,
The actor.
Yeah.
Nick.
Nick
so
Young.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's already a back thing. So.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. So I guess my first question is for all of us, what was kind of like your overall thoughts before going into the movie? Like, what do you expect before going to the movie, and did it change afterwards? Like, do you enjoy it more, or you enjoy it less, and all of that stuff? Who wants to start off?
I mean, for me, I didn't have any kind of history about this movie. I just
Yeah.
entered into the cinema with a like blank page, and I was surprised with this because first of all, I was surprised by all the cast that was Asian. So that's like a first time thing that I've seen at least, and I really like that. And I also like that, for example, here women were like more powerful.
Mm-hmm.
You know, for example, that the main character was already a professor in economics that gave her, like a better perspective and like a better status.
Yeah.
So I really like that too. But I felt that the relationship between the families was a little complicated. Like I feel that applies to other ethnicities as well.
Yeah.
It's not only like Asian, but of course the parents always want the best for you. So I think he was good.
It's good. How about you, Brian?
Yeah.
For me, before I went to go watch the movie, I thought it was gonna be like a typical drama
Yeah,
where like everybody's crying in the movie.
that's what I was thinking too.
Everyone's gonna be like all lovey and sad and stuff. But after watching it, I actually really enjoyed it because it wasn't just like drama. It was a mix between comedy and drama, which made it like a lot better.
Right.
Because you were the feeling, or like the feeling inside you wasn't like only sad, but it was also like enjoyment and like
Yeah.
other kind of feelings too as well.
Yeah. For me, I guess I had actually, to be honest, I actually had no expectations for this movie. I didn't actually really even wanted to see it. Like I thought it was just gonna be just like normal, like a regular.
What's
just
a
like
regular?
I mean, maybe just like a regular Korean drama or something like that.
Yeah.
You know, I thought it was just like, whatever, you know. But I mean, I thought it was cool that, you know, they got to have an all Asian cast. I think they said about the last all Asian cast movie was the Joy Luck Club, and I never actually got to see that. But I'm glad that they were able to shoot this movie. So I had really low expectations about this
And
movie.
this is a Hollywood movie too.
Yes. And so going into movie, like I said, no expectations. I was very, very surprised. I actually liked it a lot more than I thought I would. So I really, really enjoyed it in that regard. So I guess for you guys, what was your favorite character? Who was your favorite character in the movie?
It's hard to tell. I have too many. I like Rachel.
Yeah.
I feel that she wasn't the typical, you know, pretty girl and all that, but she was also smart. She was very well spoken, and she was like funny as well, you know. Like she didn't just lose her personality throughout the movie, but she's like fight for that.
Yeah. She got stronger and stronger
Yes.
towards the end. Yeah.
Yeah, and she said clearly that regardless whether or not she had money, you know, she had succeed throughout her life because of all the things that she's done
Yeah.
along with her mom. So
Yeah.
I really like that. I like powerful females.
Nice. Yeah.
For me,
Yeah.
I actually really liked Gopek, which
Yeah,
was
same
the
here.
friend,
Whoop, whoop.
which was the friend of Rachel Chu.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She
was-
made the movie like 10 times funny.
Yeah,
Like, it was
exactly.
just her comedy like quotes were like made me like more interested into the movie because I was just sitting there and I was like, oh, okay, this is gonna be like a love story.
Yeah.
And then she popped up making like throwing a whole bunch of like jokes and stuff,
Yeah.
and yeah, just
What was your favorite scene from her?
my favorite scene was probably when she drove Rachel Chu to
Yeah.
Oh,
Nick
yeah,
Young's
that
Christmas
part,
party.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she just pulled out a whole bunch of clothes from the trunks and like, oh, which one's the best for this event and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
she's
Yeah.
I
like,
was
do you want
oh
to come
my
in?
God.
No, fine. Are you
Yeah.
sure?
Yeah.
No.
Especially,
Okay.
especially
Yeah.
the part when they got up to the gate,
Oh yeah.
and then the guards came up, and she was like, "Oh my god,
Yeah.
what the heck?"
Yeah.
Yeah. No, exactly. That same with me for Brian. Like Gopek was, I think, the highlight of the entire movie. Actually, I mean, I enjoyed the other parts, like the romantic comedy, the romantic part. But like with her being in it, I think it was just like 10 times better.
Yeah, I think she
Just
balanced
having
out.
having comedy balance as well. And I was surprised that freaking Ken Jeong was in there because, like I said, I didn't know anything about the movie, so. All of a sudden, Ken Jeong popped up. Remember, as the dad for
Gopek,
Gopek.
Oh,
yes.
yes.
Yeah, and it was just hilarious. He wasn't there for very long, but I just thought he was really, really funny. Like this just like how he just popped up and just like did random
Yeah,
stuff.
like his first like lines too in the movie was like him pretending to have an accent,
Oh yeah,
which is making him
Oh,
funny.
yeah.
And then at the he was like, "I'm just joking, I don't got one."
yeah.
That was funny too.
Yeah, so I think Gopek was one of my favorite characters. What was your?
I think she's a rapper. In real
Oh, yeah,
in
real life
who
she's a
lives
rapper
in New
too,
York,
yeah.
So I think that explains a lot why she has such a like strong
Yeah,
character and like very kind of spicy
yeah,
like humor.
yeah.
You know.
Yeah. So what's one like going a little bit deeper? What's one takeaway that you have from the movie, or that you learned from the movie? Like what did it kind of teach you?
One at a time.
Yeah, one at a time. What I'm thinking.
I don't know.
I
You-
would
you
say,
tell us.
Okay,
Oh,
right,
okay.
right,
I would
yeah.
say,
Brandon.
Yeah.
I would say like,
Nana?
Yeah, Brandon. Yeah.
I would say like different cultures or like different countries in general have like a different mindset for each like family,
Yeah.
I guess, or tradition.
Yeah.
Like traditions for each family are different. Like, cause like Americans, like, they want what's best for their children.
Yeah.
In China, they want them to be like, successful,
Right.
and like the ways that they want them to be.
Yeah.
Instead of having their own like free life, they want them to be like extending their family name or
Right.
keeping the family wealthy, to keep like everyone like happy and all that.
Yeah.
That's what I got from the movie.
Okay. That's pretty good and pretty insightful.
How about you, Russell?
I think for me, like, it's just like whether your family likes you, whether your significant other's family likes you or not. I think you have to stand up for yourself, because like your family, whether it's on your side or whether on your significant other's side, they're gonna want what's best for their children. So like for me, it's like you have to stand up and show them, like why you're good for that significant other. Like you can't just back down. Like she was like, going head and toe, towards the mother, and be like, hey,
if I were
stand my
her,
ground.
I probably already would have.
You probably already
Quit.
left.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
probably went
good
back to
luck
US.
with that, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Rachel
yeah.
Chu, she did stand her ground.
Yeah, and I like that. Yeah, you need to stand your ground sometimes and be like, hey, no, you can't, you can't stop, me from loving who I want to love, And I think like it's a big story that I tell everybody. It's like, you're the only person that's going to live that life. So, your parents can tell you what to do or what not to do, but they're never going to live your life.
Right.
So, like why, you can listen to them, get advice, and they can help you, but you're ultimately living that life. If you don't not happy, if you don't like that, then why are you living it, So for me, it's like, I'm glad that Rachel stood up.
Yeah.
So that's why, that's one of the takeaways.
She didn't have to go to like a certain extent to please somebody else.
Right, exactly, yeah. As long as she's pleasing, what was his name? Nick Young?
Yes.
Yeah, if she's pleasing Nick Young, that should be all that really matters,
I think for me the biggest takeaway is that regardless of the culture your background is from or whatever, I think we're all humans at the end of the day, and we just should care about other people's like happiness and well-being. And if you see someone else happy with with someone else too, then we should let foster those things.
Right. Yeah.
And we're all humans, and I think we all deserve a chance
Yeah, I agree.
regardless.
Yeah. What, Brian, what's one of your surprises in the movie? Like, was there anything that surprised you?
Nothing really.
Yeah.
Like after watching like probably the first 30 minutes,
Yeah.
I already knew it's like, oh, this movie's gonna be really good because of
Yeah.
the mix between drama and comedy.
Yeah.
And I also really liked like the characters that they put, like with Ken Jeong and Gopik.
Yeah.
Like, I just liked how they made the storyline like more like interesting and more like pulling like the watchers towards
Yeah.
the scenes and like getting more and more into like involved.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I like about it.
Any surprises for you?
I think for me the only surprise was how hard was to convince the mom
Yeah.
that Rachel was actually good for her son. She was very like
Yeah.
stubborn, saying that she had such a bad family history, and she didn't not only did it once, but like she told her like twice that she wasn't worth it enough. So I think I was kind of surprised. I thought she was gonna be okay after one time.
Yeah.
But she was like, no, you're not good for my son. You can be here, but you're not worth it.
Yeah.
So I think
Yeah.
that was a little annoying too.
Nice. I think my surprise was actually Keenan Grannis.
Oh yeah.
I didn't know that. She just like popped up and sang the song for the wedding. I was like, wait a minute, I know her. That's freaking Keenan Grannis.
Yeah.
So I thought that was kind of cool, because I didn't realize that she was actually in the movie at all. So that was one of my surprises.
If you don't know who Kina Grannis is, you should go and check it out.
Yes, check her up on
She's
YouTube. She's
great.
really cool. I remember we were having a conversation earlier about this, Brian, and the ending. And we were talking about the ending should have been different. So,
Yes.
dude, what was the ending that you were thinking that it should have been?
I
know, actually, what was the ending, and then what was the ending that you thought it should have been?
Okay. The ending that was in the movie was, so basically, Rachel convinced like Eleanor, the mother of
Yeah.
Nick Young, to pass down the family ring, or her grandmother's ring, right? She passed it down to Rachel, or to Nick Young to give to Rachel Chu, and they ended up being together, getting married.
Well, not getting married yet, but at least engaged.
Well, they had the party and everything.
Yeah, they had a party.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then happily ever after.
Yeah.
And then the ending that I wanted, or I thought that was gonna happen, was when she showed up, the mom, at when they played mahjong.
Yeah.
I thought she was gonna leave, go back to New York, and do her own life, and Nick Young was just gonna move on
Yeah.
and like live his life live like what's that word?
Carelessly.
Not
Not
that, but like
carelessly, no.
like having like a grudge against her mom for ruining his relationship.
Right.
So like he's probably gonna be like, oh, I'm not gonna carry on the family thing because you did this to me in my life.
Yeah.
You don't support what I do and this and that.
Yeah.
So that's what I thought was gonna happen. Like it was just Rachel and Nick Young were gonna live their separate lives.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
gonna move on.
Yeah.
That's it.
I think because I know it was based on a book, so they probably had to extend it like that. But I thought with Bryan as well, I thought that would be a better ending where they would separate, because when Rachel Chu was talking to the mom and doing the mahjong, it was a very powerful statement. You know, like, you're going to regret, you know, or no, you're going to remember me for years later on when your son marries someone else and have children. You're going to remember that I was the one that, you know, sacrificed it.
Until
and
now
did
that happened.
Yeah, and if that ended like that, I think that would have been so much more powerful. You know, like, sometimes there isn't a happy ending, you know, and like, you know, sometimes you have to show that other side. And I wish they kind of took that other step. It's not to show a happy ending. Be like, sometimes, you know, you separate and that's it.
Yeah.
You know.
That's true.
Sometimes things like that happen in life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
So
it isn't always a happy ending.
yeah. So I guess overall, then, what do you give your overall rate? Or was final thoughts if there was anything bad you didn't like, and then your overall rating?
I like how they show a lot of like food.
Oh
from
yeah, the food was
Singapore.
good. That was
Like,
actually really cool.
They showcase a lot of things from Singapore, and I think that's important too.
Yeah.
You know, not only just the characters, but just the place where they were.
Yeah.
It was nice.
Mm-hmm. So overall rating?
Yeah.
1 out of 10.
8.
Eight?
Ooh, okay,
Okay.
it's nice. All right. All right.
Okay, for me, what I really liked about the movie was like the wedding scene. Like I thought it was like a beautiful touch to the scenery and everything in it, with the water going down the lane.
That was cool. Yeah, that was really cool. Yeah.
And then I was close to crying on that part too. I was close. Like when Rachel Chu and Nick Young were like looking at each other, and then he was like, or they were saying like "I love you" to each other, and she started crying. I was like, "Oh, that was nice. That was beautiful."
Wait, so did you cry at any other
didn't.
parts of the movie?
Not really.
Yeah.
I maybe teared once, but it wasn't too bad.
It wasn't too
I
bad.
cried
It wasn't
throughout the
too
movie.
bad.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, that was probably my favorite scene though.
Yeah.
But overall rating, I'd probably give it a 9 out of 10.
Hey,
It was better than I thought though.
Yeah.
It was better than I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing for me that I thought was kind of bad. Well, I mean not bad, but I think of kind of like a plot hole, was they never showed the dad. They just kind of gave an excuse, like, oh yeah, the dad is away on a trip, but it's just like, I think they just did that for a reason. Like they
Maybe
didn't
a
want to.
sequel.
Maybe a sequel, but they didn't really show the dad character for Nick Young. They're all. They didn't even show the dad in the beginning. Remember, in the beginning with the hotel, they're like, "Oh, call the dad," and the dad bought the entire hotel or whatever. But they never actually showed him.
Well, maybe that was the idea. You know, an absent dad that was very wealthy, but he was never there.
I guess, yeah, maybe, yeah.
Yeah,
They didn't even show anything, yeah.
That's why the mom was very strict.
That
She
could be
didn't have the
too.
support of the dad.
Right. So basically, they're showing the dad is stupid. Basically, it's just the dad is away and he's, you know, just working and just making money, but he's not really even taking care of the family, like, you know, emotionally, you know, and all that stuff. So it's basically showing like the dad, maybe a typical, you know, Asian culture or something like that, where the dad is kind of always away, you know, not
I
showing
mean,
emotion
there
and
are
stuff
other
like.
cultures.
Oh yeah, maybe like other cultures
So
as well.
probably
Yeah,
probably basically talking about the woman has to stay home and take care of the house and
Uh-huh.
the children while
Yeah.
the father's away making the money to support everybody.
right.
So I was probably thinking that's what they were trying to do,
Yeah.
possibly.
I guess so. Yeah, that's one of the things I didn't really like. But overall, you know, I enjoyed the movie. I probably give the movie an 8. It was definitely better than I expected. So.
Did you cry?
Oh, did I cry? No, like I said, that powerful scene when Rachel did the mahjong, I thought that was really good because
With the
she was like,
mahjong.
yeah, the very end, the mahjong scene. Yeah, I think my mom cried too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, she did.
She actually cried multiple
Everyone
times. on
cried.
that
She
one,
cried at the wedding scene as well. I
Yeah,
think.
yeah. Oh, and it was the scene where Rachel was talking to the mom.
The mahjong too, right?
No, it wasn't mahjong, but it was the mom was like, "You will never be enough for my son," or something like that.
yeah.
Remember at the stairs?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was like, "You'll never be enough for my
It's so
my
messed
son."
up.
Yeah.
I know.
She came all nicely.
Yeah.
You're never gonna be.
Yeah. Especially the grandma too. She
Oh,
was like,
yeah,
"You have
I
a
know.
beautiful like face structure, beautiful
Yeah.
nose," and at
Yeah.
the end she was like, "You're not enough for my son. Get out of here."
Well, I'm pretty sure because the mom manipulated.
Yeah, that's
The mom
true, too.
manipulated the
Because
grandma.
the grandma looked super nice throughout the thing.
Yeah,
in the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, do you expect a sequel? I heard that
Yes.
there's going to be a sequel.
They've
so.
announced already making a sequel.
Maybe
Yeah,
I'm gonna read
sequel.
the book actually.
Yeah, so I heard a little tidbit. I heard that the sequel will be based more on what's her
Astrid?
name? Astrid. So the sister of
Nick Young.
Nick Young, and it's gonna be actually the main focus will be her and how she met
Harry
again. Again, spoiler alert. She's going to be meeting what was the name?
Charlie Wu.
Yeah, Charlie Wu at the end, which is Harry Shum Jr.
Yes.
So that's going to be interesting.
That was a surprise as well. For
Yeah,
me.
and then that's going to be that's supposed to be the main focus. Actually, the Rachel Chu story was actually kind of like more of a side story. So I thought that was very interesting. So I'm excited to see what's going to happen next. It probably won't be for another couple of years or 2 or 3 years until the next movie comes out. But I hope it does well, and I hope they get to do more movies like this. You know.
Yeah, and I feel that this type of film like pushes other ethnicities to something similar. You know, maybe Colombian movies or all I don't know Filipino. You know, it kind of shows that you're able to do that stuff.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't have to be always complying with Hollywood standards.
I'm pretty sure Russell, you told me about how for the Crazy Rich Asians cast they wanted to make the main female a white female, right?
Oh yeah, yes, I remember that. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah, I'm
How
glad
did
that
you-
they didn't do that.
How did you know that?
I was reading a news article and like they were pitching the movie, and one of the movie studios was like, "Well, we can't really, pay for the movie unless like the main character is white, to make it more relatable to the American audience or something like that." And he said no. He was like, I'm not.
That's
gonna
a good
do
thing they
that.
did that too.
Yeah.
'Cause that would defeat the whole purpose of Crazy Rich Asians.
Exactly. Yeah, and it's just like it's completely different than having Asian American and then a completely just a white person doing it. It's like a lot of the themes wouldn't work out correctly. So
You wouldn't be able to go Crazy Rich Asians.
exactly. It'd be like Crazy Rich Asians plus a white person.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it wouldn't work. So
Alrighty.
yeah, so we recommend watching the movie.
Definitely check it out.
Yeah, definitely check it
I
out.
loved it.
So on the next topic, moving on, we're going to talk a little bit about college because Brian is entering college.
Yep.
Yep. So
Finally.
yes, congrats,
Yeah.
Brian entering college, and it's going to be exciting times. Do you have any specific thoughts about college? Are you what are you most excited about?
Well, first of all, I'm mostly excited about like the flexible class timings.
That's always good, yeah.
So like instead of having like 6 hours of class every day in the beginning, like high school, I get to choose which time I want, and like go to it. Like wake up at a certain time, drive up there,
Yeah.
and like have time to do my own thing instead of being stuck to each class, and like doing like the same thing like almost every day.
Yeah.
So for college, I can like go to the gym over there because they provide like a free gym pass.
Oh, that's good. That's
So
really
there's
good.
like free swimming, free workouts, free like sports in general. That's what I really like about that. And just basically meeting new people, like going to a new environment, because in the college is a big step for like finding a job and stuff like that in the future.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, like, what was David Douglas's high school population? Do you remember?
About 3,500.
So 3,500. So his high school is about 3,500, and the college he's going to, I think that it's 21,000 students.
Yeah.
The population.
Wow.
About that,
So
yeah.
it's like a
That's
huge.
super big.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's a huge jump, and like just having that much, that much more people is going to be, you're going to meet a lot of people, a lot of different people. So that's
From
super
different
exciting.
backgrounds.
Different backgrounds and all of that stuff. What are one things that you're kind of nervous about going into?
Well, I'm most nervous about like transportation.
Yeah.
and basically because from where I live to the school, it's about like a 20-minute drive
Yeah.
without traffic. But usually the time where my classes start, there's usually like a traffic jams.
Right.
So I'm not really entirely sure about like when to leave,
Right.
where to park,
Yeah.
like when should I like get ready to go to class.
Yeah.
So that's probably like what I'm most nervous about.
Okay, but nothing about any of the classes.
Not
or
really,
nothing?
no, not really.
Yeah.
Because I'm not really sure like what to expect because it's all new to me.
Yeah.
So I'm just like basically excited to like get there and get the work done and everything.
Yeah. Yeah. Do
What
have
about
any-
you? What were
Maybe?
you most?
What am I
nervous-
excited about going to college?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
No.
back to college. All right, guys.
What were you most
Yeah.
excited about going to college when you had that experience?
10
10 years ago.
Oh dang, yeah, it's been a long time. It's been a long time since I've been in college. I think the most excitement is just moving away from home. For me, like
Right.
I don't know, it's just like just being at home. You know, like you have to like kind of like listen to your parents, and you have to be home a certain time and all that stuff. And I kind of wanted that independence. So moving away and just having my freedom to do whatever I wanted to do without anyone saying like, oh, you need to be home at this time, all that time. That was my most excited thing to go to college. Because I moved away. I moved away. It was like 2 hours away. So it was like close enough to come home, but far enough so they can't go back and forth at a whim
Yeah.
type of deal. So that was kind of my most exciting.
That's something
thing
I
about
wanted to do, but I
Yeah.
also was thinking about money.
That's
Like,
true
you
too.
gotta
Yeah,
save
money is a thing. Yeah, yeah.
So I was like, I'd rather just stay home and just focus on school instead of like my own independence.
Yeah, definitely. There's pros
I
and
can,
cons of that.
yeah, because I can focus on independence after finishing college
Right.
and start finding like a career
Yeah,
and then living my life after that.
that's true too. That's
Yeah,
very, very true.
when I went to college, I had a situation similar to what Bryan did, because in Colombia people don't move away from college, and our city is the main city, so the best schools are within our city. So I just after class I would just go home, and it was very convenient. You live there, you have the food,
Yeah.
you
Right,
know,
bus.
the
You don't-
comfort,
Yeah.
the comfort from your house, and yeah. And the thing that I was most excited about was just like kind of meeting more people and yeah, just being in a new environment.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't
Definitely.
remember well.
Yeah, yeah. So since we've both been in college, Brian, do you have any like specific questions you want to ask? Like, it could be really anything. It could be like what classes we took to like
What's
how
your
many parties we went
major?
to. What's your major? Like all of that stuff. It could be really. It could really be open ended.
Do you guys remember like after high school like do you guys remember the feeling you guys had like entering college? Like were you guys like did you guys
Like
feel
the
like nervous?
exact day, like the first day of school.
Well,
in college,
no,
right?
like before school started. Like, did you guys
Okay.
feel nervous going into school?
Mm.
I think the thing that I was more nervous about was just like my major, because I did want to study like social sciences, but I wasn't sure about economics, so I was kind of a little afraid of being committed to that major, that it was kind of hard. So I was like, when I started taking those classes of math, it was a little discouraging in the beginning. So I was like, yeah, I was more afraid of that. And I felt that a lot of people were already very prepared, even in the first semester of school. People already was very good at math and things like that. So I felt a little insecure about that.
Yeah, I think it's
Just
the
like
same thing.
confusion, basically.
Yeah, I think the same thing with me. It's like I didn't really know what I wanted for my major, so I just really picked a random one. I went on the computer and then I scrolled through all of the majors, and then I just closed my eyes and just like scrolled through it.
That's
And
how you
then-
pick your major?
Yeah, that's how I picked the major.
Don't
And
do
then
that,
so-
kids.
Yeah, so I picked the major, but I didn't know if I was gonna like it or not.
What was your first major?
It was bioengineering. So
That sounds difficult.
So one of my things for you, Brian, is like, don't be afraid if you don't really like your major, just switch it. You don't want to be stuck in something you really don't want to do. So after my first year in bioengineering, I changed it right away because I knew I didn't like math. I
But
to do
like
math.
when you change your major, isn't it like you waste money for a whole year, or like the money you spent on the classes?
Well, especially for freshman year, most of the classes are similar. They're very the same. So like if you
The core
if you yeah the
classes.
core classes. So if you change, it's not gonna
Yeah, they told me
impact that
like
much.
if I did want to change my major, they'd recommend changing like my major in the same field
Mhm.
instead of changing completely to something else.
Right, right.
So that would like make the classes more like the same.
Yeah.
But even if you
That
do
could-
that,
uh-huh.
it's better to change it radically, when you're early in,
Yeah.
Yeah, than being
time,
stuck in
Right.
something you don't want to do.
than ended up being in I don't know, electrician or whatever, and
Yeah.
don't liking what you did,
Yeah.
Yeah,
so you're
yeah.
gonna be frustrated and you're not gonna like it,
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
So if you wanna do whatever you want,
Mhm.
just go for
I've
it.
changed my major like twice already.
No, that's totally fine. Like I said, it's totally
Yeah.
You
fine.
haven't started.
Yeah, you haven't even
Yeah,
started.
I
So
haven't
yeah,
started yet.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty
What was
sure.
your
Yeah.
first?
My first choice was criminology and criminal justice.
I think that was super cool. When
Yeah.
Russell told me
Yeah.
about it,
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
whoa.
I was thinking about doing that, but then like, I
What
was-
changed your mind?
well, first of all, my parents didn't want me to do that,
Yeah.
and I was just thinking about like the futures and like, do I really want to become like somewhere in that kind of field as well?
Yeah.
But then I also was thinking like other things like what I wanted to do because I really like computer work and stuff like that.
Right.
So also I was like thinking about either between criminology and criminal justice or computer science. But then computer science, it was more like programming stuff. I wanted to do more like creativity stuff, like drawing or like creating like designs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I was leaning more towards graphic design, and I left the criminology and criminal justice field like completely.
Dismissed.
Yeah. So I'm sticking with graphic design for now
Yeah.
until maybe in the future I might possibly change to something else, but I'm not.
Yeah, yeah. Don't
Totally sure.
don't hesitate. And also, like fun fact as well is like most people that graduate from college don't even go to the same field as they graduated.
Yeah.
So like everything changes. Everything can change.
But
I think that's like the
it would
biggest.
be ideal.
It would be ideal. I'm not saying it isn't,
You know,
but if you
when-
do choose a different job that's not your major, then there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. Whatever works for you in the future is
Yeah.
a good choice.
Yeah, because I think in the past, like people are like you got to stick with the same thing throughout your entire life. I think now in the future, in the present, it's more like adjust to what you need to do. Same thing with the work of field and what you're working in. Like our parents like worked for like 20 years, 15 years in the same field. Now it's like, especially with tech companies, people transition all the time. They only stay there for 3 years, move on to the next company. Stay for 2 years, move on to the next company. So it's like it's very, very different. And it's just if you do it, you do it. And don't be loyal to one thing. That's what I say. So for me, it's just like do what you do. Right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah. Do you have any other questions? It could be anything.
What was your favorite subject at school?
Ballroom dancing.
Out of anything?
Yeah, seriously. Okay, so yoga actually was my favorite. And the reason why it was my favorite was because I took it at the very end of the day of all my classes at the very end of the week. So on Friday afternoon, I would take the yoga class. And I got the best GPA during that
In
term.
yoga?
No. For overall, I got the best GPA out of the entire term for all my classes, and the reason is because I was more relaxed. Because you get stressed out during the week, all that stuff. Yoga like just helps you just like
Yeah, I
just
think
release that energy. And
I
stuff
think
like
I
that.
remember like when you came home to visit from your college, right?
Yeah.
I remember you like showing me like, oh, I learned some cool yoga moves. You should try it with me. And we always do in the living room. And I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, this is cool. I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, taking
like yoga
classes
too.
taking classes like that will help, balance out with all the other hard, classes that you're going to take. So I actually enjoyed yoga a lot.
So my favorite class was called Public Policy.
Ooh.
And this was a subject that I took in another school because like we have like agreements with other colleges, so we were able to take classes in other places. So I did that, and it was really fun. I met new people and I learned a lot.
Yeah.
And it was very challenging. It was in my last semesters. The classes at the beginning I didn't like too much, but after everything started to make more sense. Oh, this is how I can apply these things to the real world. So I like that.
Nice. How about what do you think was your worst class that you had?
I had a lot of math.
Probably
Which
like the
one?
core
Yeah.
classes like math
Yeah,
and
I
stuff.
think math. That was really bad at math.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm trying to remember. I had a class. It wasn't my worst class because I didn't like it. It was my worst class because I forgot about it. And I told Bryan about this. I took a class that I totally forgot.
What was the name of it?
I don't remember what it was. It was like
yoga?
no, it was math, but it was like to help like with another class. I joined it, but I forgot. I totally forgot it throughout my entire term about the class, and of course I got a no pass on the class because I got it at the end of the term. And I was like looking at all my grades, and I was like, "What is this class I took?" And I totally forgot that I took that class. So it was kind of my worst
So
class
it was
because
like
I forgot.
distraction, basically.
Yeah, I was very distracted. So yeah, so I think having a calendar and just having it in your classes, just like Google Calendar, will help because you can always set reminders and stuff like that.
Yeah, for me, the worst class was German.
What?
Because I thought it was gonna be easier,
Yeah,
and it was so difficult.
yeah,
And I think the professor was very strict, so it was just hard. I learned a few things, but it was definitely hard for me.
yeah. That was, oh, nice. Anything else, Bryan? Anything else it for now?
I'm also kind of worried about like how do you guys like pay for school because I
Mm.
know it all adds up in the end.
Well, I'm still paying for school.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's
Yeah. I mean, I say this to everybody again. Take out the least amount of loans as possible. You will be paying them back later. But take as much as you need, not as much as they will give you.
Yes. And
'Cause they
sign
will
up
give you a lot
for
more.
many scholarships to pay for it.
Scholarships. Scholarships is number one. Like you have to do that because you will need put in time and energy now writing out the scholarships.
But it'll
But in the end,
help in the end.
yeah, in the end, you won't ever pay those back.
Did you ever apply for any scholarships?
No, I didn't.
Why not?
Unfortunately, I since I was the very first one, especially
so
with my
cute.
mom. My mom didn't know anything, and we got actually scandal. Like
No,
we
I
got
remember
we got
you
a
telling
scandal out of it. Like they were, we went to this
A
thing.
scandal?
Yeah, they were promoting
Scam.
scam. Yeah, that's what I meant. Scam. They were scamming us, and it's a scandal too. But they were scamming us about scholarships, and they were saying that if you pay us like $1,000, we'll look for scholarships for you to apply to. And of course, we were the very first ones. My mom didn't know anything, so she paid them $1,000.
$1,000.
Yeah, and then they never really sent us anything in
They
regards
just
to
took it and
scholarships. Yeah. Well, then my mom, she sued them and then got the
of
money
course.
back.
Okay, that's
You know,
good. at
yeah.
least.
So yeah, there's scams out there, for people that don't know anything about college, all that stuff.
Yeah.
But applying for scholarships should be free.
Yeah.
You should never have to.
I'm a
pay for it.
hypocrite for saying to sign up for scholarships because I didn't really sign up for any scholarships.
Well,
I
I
just
think-
stuck with the
yeah,
money they gave me because of my good grades
yeah,
and also being an Oregon resident.
yeah.
That allowed me to get like a couple like
You
free
can
money.
always apply for scholarships every year.
Throughout
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
Throughout
so it
college.
doesn't have to
Yeah.
be.
I think
yeah.
once you have your rates in the first period, whatever, after they can take a look and
Mhm.
see how well you've done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, what I've learned in high school too is like there's a scholarship for anything. Like there's
Right.
a scholarship for being like a certain race. There's a scholarship for doing certain things, and that's just free money. Like might as well sign up for it because they're just giving you, basically free money.
Yeah, out to Brian's friends. This is what Brian's saying.
Yep.
So listen,
dude.
kids.
Yeah, listen to him to do those free
Yeah.
scholarships.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially for those kids and still in high school, those students, I'd recommend taking as much college classes as you can.
Well, there you go.
Doing like extracurricular activities because
Yeah.
those all help. And just study hard, do well in school, and that'll benefit you for college because it'll help you with get through extra classes too. Because if you take college classes in high school, that basically counts towards college.
Yeah.
So
That's
you'll
nice.
complete
Yeah.
classes quicker
Nice.
and
nice.
you get more things done.
Yeah. Yeah.
So-
Brian's our spokesmodel for
I
this.
know.
Yes.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Yes.
Just doing that.
So my experience when I had to pay for the school. So in Colombia, school is not as expensive as it's here. So my dad somehow was able to pay for my school in Colombia.
I never paid at
you
all.
you go to college
Yep.
for 5 years. We do semesters. So in a year we have 2 semesters. my dad didn't even go to school, so he had the same job for like 25 years.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You know, it's nothing fancy, and somehow he was able just to pay it all.
Provide.
You know, he didn't spend any money on himself and things like that. He would just give me all the money
Yeah,
for
that's
college.
awesome,
So after that, I started to work. I worked through my college years. Like in my third year, I started working, and I was able to just like pay some money, you know, for myself. And after when I came here to the U.S., I was working too, because I did like an associate's degree type of thing.
Yeah.
And I did apply for a scholarship, but I didn't. They didn't give it to me.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, I didn't win or whatever.
Yeah.
So after that, I went to another school in New York. They didn't have scholarships either, but I paid myself for all the education in the U.S. So yeah, I mean, I think it's better if you don't work when you're in school,
Mm-hmm.
because it's better that you're focused. But if you can work a little bit during the summers or things like that, that might help too.
Yeah.
You know, for your expenses. You know, try not to eat out too much.
Yeah, like at Buffalo Wild Wings or something.
Mm-hmm. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, yeah, I agree. Yeah. Yeah, so other things for college, yeah, just like try to experience as much as possible. The 4 years will go by fast. So try to enjoy it as much as possible as well, and just have fun. I think that's the biggest thing, is have fun. Because honestly, college I think is the largest bubble in regards to like not working and like meeting people like your age, and just you know, just hanging out and, you know, having fun, and, you know, like going through the same thing. Because once you go out into the real world, everybody's like, I gotta work, I gotta do this, I gotta do this. You know, they have their own thing. So college is very, very specific.
Like our early brother, Alvin.
Yeah.
Shout out to Alvin fam.
Yeah, yeah, shut up.
You know who you are?
Yeah, you know who you are. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so that's that it for now for the question.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
Okay, so our last talk, we're going to go to Would You Rather. We really like doing this, so let's kind of start with one. Brian, you
Okay.
can start us off.
I can.
Oh, you can start off?
Yeah,
Okay, go ahead.
Okay,
let's
so
start.
would you
Okay.
rather wear the same clothes or not shower for a week?
So would you rather wear the same clothes for a whole week or not shower for a whole week?
Mm-hmm.
I already know Russell's answer because he wears the same clothes for the same
Man,
clothes
why
for
are you
at
telling
least
my
not
secret?
even a week. It's a month.
Wait,
wears
why
the
are you
same
telling my
clothes for a
secret?
month.
That's not true. That's not true. That's
A
not
year, actually.
And
Yeah.
me,
Yeah.
I've gone weeks without showering too.
Whoa,
so,
dang.
So I would probably be not shower for a whole week.
Yeah, that's crazy. For me, this is easy. Wear the same clothes for a whole week because I
Of
already
course.
do that. So
What about you, Alexa?
yeah.
Not shower for a week.
Not
Wow,
shower for a
really?
week.
Why is that?
I don't know.
You
Well,
don't know.
With me too, people said like when I haven't showered like in a week or something, I don't really smell. Like I went to school without showering for a week, and I asked them like, hey, do I smell? They don't. They're like, oh, you smell like normal. I'm like, oh, okay, that's fine then.
What the heck?
So I don't really care about like showering or something because like sometimes I get lazy like
Yeah,
schoolwork
yeah.
and stuff like that, and I get
Yeah.
tired, just pass out.
That's true. Yeah, but for me though, like I think like I don't mind showering for like a few days if it's like cold and stuff. But when it's like summer hot heat and all that stuff, you get sweaty so fast.
That's true.
I hate that sweat sticky
true.
feeling,
I
especially when
know.
I'm sleeping. So I have to take
Yeah.
a shower.
Alrighty,
Yeah.
so
So Brian
Next.
up next.
yeah.
No, Brian's up next, so he gets to choose.
Okay. Would you rather lose your sense of smell or lose your sight?
Ooh, that's easy for me. I can't smell,
Okay, yeah.
so I'd rather not smell.
Yeah, the small one too.
I would also choose smell
Yeah,
because
I
I,
like
want to be able to
seeing.
see everything.
Exactly,
too.
exactly. Yeah, my nose is not doesn't work very well. So, for mine.
That was pretty easy.
Yeah, let's see. Oh, would you rather have a kid who has a normal name but he's really bad, or a kid that's very, very good but has a really bad name?
The second one. Really good and really bad name.
I'd say that one too because I want to have a good kid. I don't want to have like a
That's right.
rowdy like child. Like,
Yeah.
Bad like stressful to take care of and stuff like that. I
Yeah.
want him to be like good at everything. Like
What was
going
it?
to
What was his
school.
name? Is Wee Wee.
That's fine. He has to learn to live with that.
Well,
And then
he has to learn to live with it.
Yeah, and then maybe in the future when he's old enough, he can change his name if he wants to. if he
Oh,
doesn't
that's
like it.
true. Yeah,
what
you
I
can
thought.
change his name. Yeah, that's
If
very,
he's
very
good
true.
enough, you know, he might
Right.
be able to.
Yeah.
Right.
But people
Okay.
shouldn't really be embarrassed with their names.
I
That's
know.
true. That's true. Even if it's wee wee.
Yes, even
Wee
though
wee. Yeah. So that's you're up next because I did the.
Would you rather lick a stranger's toe or put your tongue up a stranger's nose? You.
me, I would rather put my tongue up a stranger's nose.
Why is that?
Because I do not want to lick someone's feet. Because I don't know what they've been stepping in.
Most times they wear socks.
Well, sometimes they don't.
Oh.
Like their nose is like it's not on the floor or doing anything bad. It's just sniffing. Got maybe some boogers in it, but it's okay.
Ooh.
It's like if people eat their boogers all the time,
Yeah, but you'll be eating theirs.
that's okay. Maybe
Ooh.
hopefully they have a clean nose.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Okay.
On their
think that-
toes, I don't know,
yeah.
something else.
I would rather lick a stranger's toe.
What?
Whoa. That's
Okay,
Yeah.
Why is
like,
that?
what if they
One
have-
lick.
Like what if they have some like fungus toenails or
That's
something?
true. Yeah.
Okay, that's close. Yeah, I'll close my eyes.
Oh, so you would still do
You
it?
gotta
Yeah.
close your eyes,
Let
plug
me
your
see,
nose.
Bryan.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. No, I would do the stranger's nose as well.
Yeah.
I'm not very good with feet, so I can't really do that. Brian's turn.
Okay. Would you rather never be able to speak again or never be able to stop talking? That's a good.
That's a good one. That's a good one. I think I would never speak again. I would just do sign language. Because then you get so tired talking. Because you can never
really.
stop talking, so you have to talk in your sleep. So basically, you have to keep
well,
talking.
people sleep
over.
talk too, though.
That's true. That's true.
For me, I'd rather never be able to stop talking.
Yay, that's a lot of talking.
This one's kind of hard for me because I do like talking.
Yeah, I can see.
I'd probably say never be able to stop talking. Yeah. Because like if I want to speak my mind too, I can go
Yeah.
off on somebody
That's true. That's true.
Me
instead
too.
of like throwing like hand signs at them.
What are your hand signs? What are we talking about?
Yeah.
Okay, for me, let's see. Oh, we were talking about this before. Would you rather have 3 happy years left to live or have 50 unhappy years left to live?
I'd rather have three
Three
happy
happy
years
years
to
to
live.
live.
Wow. Why is that? There's only 3 years.
That's
Well, if you
fine.
live happy, it's fine.
You know? Yeah, I would choose the same thing.
Yes.
I was just trying to be the devil's advocate, so I was like, trying to figure out.
Because like, why
what
would you want to live a life where you're unhappy and live longer? You're basically like suffering
Hmm.
those extra years doing like being unhappy.
Yeah.
Like, there's no point in doing that.
Right.
But if you're happy, then live life to the fullest. Or,
Right.
Yep.
That's true. That's true. I agree
Alrighty,
with you.
last question.
Yeah.
Would you rather live in a huge house without any friends or family, or live in a tiny room but be surrounded by friends and family? Me, live by myself alone. No. The other one.
The other one?
In a tiny room, yeah.
Tiny room,
This one's kind of hard for me because if I lived in a tiny room with my friends and family, it's gonna be hot.
That's true. Well, yeah, it's gotta be
We're
hard.
gonna be
No,
in
it says
small-
surround. They never said that the family live with you inside. They said surrounded by.
Well, it says live in a tiny room. So you're gonna be living with the
yeah.
family and friends
Oh,
in
no,
that
so-
tiny
Yeah.
space.
Yeah.
No, so probably I will live in the big house.
Yeah, I'd honestly rather live in a huge house, like get the space to myself.
Yeah.
Probably get some dogs,
Yeah.
and yeah.
too.
do my own
Well,
thing.
okay. Well, here's a twist then. If you live in a huge house, you don't ever see your friends or family again.
Oh no, so I will live in the tiny
Yeah,
house.
I live in a tiny
You
room.
live in a tiny room. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Because
How
like if
about
you
you?
live in a
Yeah.
huge house, you can still have in this topic, right?
Right,
with,
right.
With them asking,
Yeah.
I would live in a huge house because like it's not saying that they can't come visit you.
Right.
They're just
right.
saying they have to live with you.
Yeah.
That's a
Or
good
you can't
point.
live. Yes.
How about
That's
you?
true. Yeah. No, I mean, I do a tiny room. I'm pretty. I don't really need that much space. So.
I know.
Like,
Yeah,
we're not
so-
talking about tiny like this room we're currently in right now. We're talking about tiny like a doghouse.
It didn't even say doghouse. did it say specifically
It
doghouse?
shows a picture.
Oh, no, that's true. It does show a picture of a doghouse. So then I would do huge house. If it
I
wasn't a
need
doghouse,
this, especially for people I know, like who people have like claustrophobic.
Yeah.
Or more claustrophobic.
Uh-huh.
Like,
yeah, or people
They-
have a lot of gas.
yes.
That's true.
That's
true.
me.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
me. No one would want to live in a tiny house with me.
There you go, man. I would suffocate. That would definitely be a suffocation.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the end of this podcast. Hopefully you all liked it. Hopefully you liked, our special guest Bryan, right?
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
welcome anytime.
Yeah,
Stop by.
anytime, man. It's great. So we're hoping to have guests further in the future. Hope you all like it. Before we leave, though, is there anything you want to say as your last thoughts? And you can also leave, your Twitter handle, your
Yes.
Instagram handle. I know y'all people like to do that stuff. So
Yeah. So
all right, go ahead.
if any of you in the audience or the people listening, right? If you guys have any questions for me, or if you guys want to give me any tips into going to college, you guys can message me on my Instagram, which is at Bryan with a Y underscore
Sure, it has to be a Y.
yes underscore Nguyen 12. So it'll be BRYEN for my first name underscore my last name NGUYEN and the number 12.
Alrighty.
All right,
Well,
sounds
thank
great.
you so much
Thank
for
you so
being
much.
here. Take care, everyone.
Yep.
Yep.
Thank you guys for listening.
All right,
Alrighty,
bye.
bye.
What do you guys say?
Bye.
Okay, there you go.